What is up there, everyone? It's the guy with no gamer tech here, and I want to say thank you for 50 subscribers. It means a lot, and I know quite a few of you have come over from the Legion of the Pop channel. I am really grateful that that video got put up, and I'm really happy how the video was received, because I admit it was probably a fairly controversial topic in some ways, because it ran the risk that people might have taken it the wrong way, but luckily it was received really well, and I'm really happy about that. And what I wanted to talk about for this subscriber milestone is what I like in games. Now, the kind of games I mainly like is shooters and racing games. In terms of racing games, I just like a game. I'm very specific in what I like, because I like some games that are realistic, like Gran Turismo, although I didn't like Gran Turismo 6 because it just looked like a reskin of Gran Turismo 5. But I do like games that kind of have some element of realism. I really like Race Driver Grid because the AI in that game made it quite challenging and actually made it really immersive. But at the same time, I like slightly more cartoony games in the form of Burnout, because they're just sort of something they can mess around with and have a bit of fun. Now, in terms of shooters, what I actually really like is a good story. Now, that is where, unfortunately, some games for me have failed, because I found, personally for me, I didn't like the Black Ops 2 campaign, and that probably added to the fact that I didn't really like the game overall, because it was advertised as this future shooter, and yet, I would say about 3/4 of the missions were set in the past, which just really didn't appeal to me, because the future stuff, which was what to me looked like the most enjoyable part of the game. And for like Ghosts, it was an okay story, it was a different narrative, but it had nothing really to it. It was marketed as this going to be really immersive campaign. There were some missions that were really cool, but it just didn't quite live up to what it was marketed as. And Battlefield 4 had the same issue. It did look, the visuals in the game were quite good, and there were some scenes which were quite immersive, but in general it just wasn't nowhere near as good as Battlefield 3's story. Battlefield 3 had well, it was a very short story, but it was really immersive for the length of the story, and was actually really fun to play through. Now, this is why I look forward to Advanced Warfare, because I think the story looks really good, because what the story does for me is it sets the theme of the game. If the story is really good, then the multiplayer, I have a high chance of liking it, because the theme is there and it kind of adds the immersion. It's like when you have maps that are sort of set around the single player, it's like, oh, this happened here and this was really awesome. It's like Estate. I actually really like that map, but it also was from one of the most immersive scenes ever from the mission Lost Ends, which I think is probably the main reason why I liked MW2, was just that story twist was unbelievable, and I just did not see that coming. And I just really think that's why I've got some really high hopes for Advanced Warfare, just because the story does look like it's quite cool. If it's done correctly, I'm probably going to really like this game. Even if the multiplayer is quite crap, like for instance in Modern Warfare 3, because I enjoyed the story, I really liked the game. Now that is one thing, because unbelievably, Modern Warfare 3 is probably my favourite Call of Duty to date, just because it's been the most playable. It was probably the worst Call of Duty to date for the amount of issues it had. But it was, for me, the most fun, just because I liked the story, and the multiplayer, for whatever reason, made me want to come back. And also the way the community receives a game varies how much I enjoy the game. In Modern Warfare 3, that seemed to be the game where the entire community came together and just made this awesome content. The amount of people's channels absolutely exploded in subscriber count in Modern Warfare 3 is unbelievable. Just famous names, Ali A, T Martin, KOR Speedy, Tech Takedown, all those people, their channels exploded in MW3, and there was just some hysterical, just amazing videos made in Modern Warfare 3 which I still look to, like the This Gun Fucking Sucks videos, Camp of Justice, all these series, they were just made during that game, and it's when the community comes together like this, it's absolutely awesome. But unfortunately in recent games the community has been much more divided, and unfortunately people have become quite fanboyish about games, and they won't accept that some people don't like the things that they like, and then they get massively butthurt over it. But anyway guys, I do hope you've enjoyed. I want to once again thank you all for 50 subscribers. It really does mean a lot, even though this is a really tiny channel. I just do this for fun, and it means a lot when I get to see your guys' comments and feedback, because it shows that I have a voice and some people are listening to it. You guys really are awesome. You give me some great support on the videos. This has been the guy with no gamer tag, and I will see you on another video.